Good morning, everyone. My name is Mike Pennick. My pronouns are he, him. I run the senior high youth group here at church. I'm on the Green Sanctuary Committee, among other things that I do. I'm very happy to be a part of this service this morning. Let us gather in the spirit of reverence and celebration. Today's service recognizes the blessings of the animal kingdom, those creatures who walk beside us, fly above us, and swim below us. They bring joy to our hearts, teach us about patience and loyalty, and remind us of the intricate web of life of which we are all a part. Today, as we bless our animals, let us remember how they bless our lives in countless ways. At this time, we gather to light our chalice. For those of you at home, please join me in lighting your own chalice. You can share a chalice that's lit in Palatine in the chat if you would like. We light this chalice in gratitude for the warmth of companionship, for the silent understanding, and for the lessons animals teach us every day. In their eyes, we see the reflection of a love pure and unconditional, and in their presence, we find peace and connection to the wider circle of life. Now, if you would please join me, stand as you are willing and able, and sing our opening hymn, number 203, All Creatures of Earth and Sky.
Good morning. Now, if any of you have pets that you would like to come up, we have spaced some chairs up here. So I know some people came in late and maybe in the back with their cage or whatever animal. If you want to come up here, you certainly can. My name is Mari Van Meter, and my pronouns are she and hers. I'm currently the mother of 2 black labs named Buddy and Holly, and I yeah, I know. Thank you for getting that. And I co-parent with Ed, who is back in the tech area right now, I think. And I've had the pleasure of coexisting with many different types of animals throughout the years, so I'm very happy to be here today. Please remain standing while we recite the words of our congregational covenant. We unite to strengthen the bonds of kinship among all persons, to promote human dignity and increase reverence for life's creating, sustaining, and transforming power through worship, study, and service. All right, if you guys would like to be seated, but if you're younger and you would like to come up to see the slides a little better, I always notice I'm a teacher, And so I always notice when the kids come up here, they sit and they look at you guys. Don't sit there and look at them. Like, sit down here and look up at the slides, you know? Or, yeah, like really, we're just having you come close, not so everybody can see your cute faces. Although you do have very cute faces. All right, so our story today is called Some Pets, and this is the book. It's by Angela Ditterlizzi. I'll work on that. And the pet pictures are done by Brendan Wenzel. Some pets sit, some pets stay, some pets fetch, and some pets play. Some pets slither and some pets bound, some pets scurry round and round, some pets squeal, some pets squawk, some pets squeak, and some pets talk. Some pets peck, some pets nibble, some pets drool on the kibble. I know that one. Some pets squeeze, and some pets nuzzle. Some pets lick, some pets cuddle. Whether fluffy, feathered, crawly, cute, silly, strange, scaly, brute, big or small, or a blend, some pets can be someone's best friend. Thank you. All right. Now we are going to join in singing All Creatures Have So Much to Teach. Hymn number 372 in your normal hymnal.
Well, it's not actually in the hymnal.
Oh, it's not in the hymnal?
It's here or in your bulletin.
372, which is in here or in the bulletin. You can go back if you'd like. In the quiet moments of our days, the animals among us speak without words. Their playful antics bring laughter, their devoted gaze brings comfort, and their gentle nuzzles bring solace. They dance to the rhythm of life, reminding us to find joy in the simplest things. When we feel alone, they stand by our side, offering a presence that requires no explanation, no justification. In their trust, we see the essence of innocence, and in their resilience, we witness the strength of spirit. As seasons change and years pass, they remain a steadfast presence, their life stories interwoven with our own. In the span of their shorter lives, they teach us about the fleeting nature of existence and the importance of cherishing every moment. For every creature that has touched our lives, we are blessed. Through them, we see the tapestry of life, rich in diversity, color, and emotion. Let us hold in our hearts the profound ways these animals bless our lives, bringing forth love, teaching us compassion, and reveling the beauty of the universe in ways words could never express. In the stillness of this moment, we come together to celebrate the profound connections that stretch beyond the human realm, reaching into the hearts of our animal companions. Through each story, through every image that unfolds before you, is a testament to the love, joy, and wisdom these creatures bring into our lives. As the stories of our members and their cherished animal companions unfurl in text and image, we invite you to embrace this time for quiet reflection. Dive deep into the narratives of love, of lessons learned, and moments cherished. Let these words and images be a meditation on the countless blessings we receive from these wonderful beings. Now, let us embark on this journey of memories, gratitude, and love together. I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you all who sent in pictures. I thought it made it really special. As we conclude this visual meditation on the profound connections you share with our animal companions, let us carry forward the warmth and wisdom they bestow upon us. They teach us to love unconditionally, to play joyfully, and to live fully in each precious moment. Their blessings enrich our lives in ways both simple and profound. May these images and words resonate with us as we continue our service today, united by this shared experience of love, compassion, and understanding that our cherished pets bring into our lives.
My name is Ed Monson, and my pronouns are he and him. I co-parent Buddy and Holly with Mari, and I am currently the caretaker, as you saw, of many outdoor creatures, of which I did not get the bunny in that photo as well. Mari jokes that I become like the Snow White, where I hold out my arm and I just say, "Hello, birds." I can't sing the Snow White song, so I'll spare you that. But they all know when I step outside in the morning, and they all make their sounds, and they get to their spots waiting for me to put out the food and then walk away. Today's reading is a passage from Kinship, with All Life by J. Allen Boone. The book is known for its profound exploration of our deeper connections with animals and how they can be our teachers if we were open to their wisdom. From Kinship with All Life by J. Allen Boone. Is there a universal language of love, a kinship with all life, that can open new horizons of experience? This intriguing question became the backdrop of pioneering research recounted in this very special work. Every living thing has its own special mission and fulfills the purpose for which it was created. All life is interrelated and works together for the good of all. There's no such thing as superiority or inferiority in the world of nature. The ant does not consider itself superior to the grain of sand that it is carrying, nor the dog to the cat, nor the rose to the violet. Each knows its place and its purpose in the great cosmic scheme, and each is content with what it is. Every animal, like every human, is a unique individual and should be treated as such. It's only when we start to view them as personalities instead of as properties that we begin to get in touch with the profound lessons that they offer.
I heard that earlier before the thing. And I asked them if they had a whole opera of that because I would buy it in a heartbeat. I forgot to mention my animal parentage earlier. My wife, my daughter, and I are the proud partners of Bubble and Squeak, which you saw before, and you will hear more about in a few minutes. I said this before, but I got to tell you, I'm so excited to be here today. This is the first one of these I've been a part of, and I love animals so much. I don't know how it's been done in the past, but to me, my first instinct was to go ahead and have the people that brought their animals in today come up one at a time and basically do the same thing that we did with the slideshow, have them introduce themselves, their animal companion, and give a brief statement how their animal companions have enriched their lives. So if we could go ahead and do that. You can make a sort of a line over on the left, or just, I had no idea how many animals we were going to have today. I didn't know if they were going to have 50 or 10, but it doesn't look to be too terrible. But if whoever wants to start, go ahead and come on up, and then we can make a loose line, one side or the other, and let's get that over with, and then we'll see if there's any time left for me to say anything at all or not. Go ahead, come on up. Here. Let's make sure. Is it on? Oh, yeah, we're good. Okay, go ahead. Start us off.
This fish is a surrogate. It is here in substitution for my 2 dogs who are not well behaved and could not possibly come into a facility like this without causing total chaos. My 2 dogs are Lily, who was adopted from a very little puppy from a shelter, and she loves food. She adores food. She doesn't like strange people, and she doesn't like strange dogs, and she doesn't like leaves that fall. She doesn't like chairs that appear where they don't belong. She is very fragile in her emotional development. Then we have Mickey, who is a refugee from Azerbaijan. We got her 2 years ago during COVID, and they had done an airlift of dogs who had been strays or abused over there. And it's taken her a couple of years to adjust, but she is the most loving, adorable dog, but she barks constantly. And I think that this is much less disturbing than my dog. So anyway, bless all pets. Thank you all. And does anybody need a fish?
The holder still, but this is Maisie. Maisie is 11 going on 12. And I did not grow up with dogs. My parents would not let me have anything that couldn't be in a bowl or a cage. So I had a lot of fish that died very, very quickly, and a series of very stupid gerbils. I had rats when I was in college, but this is the first thing, well, it's the first dog. So my husband grew up with dogs and absolutely wanted to get a dog. But when we were in college, we had a cat who could not be around dogs, or she would try to jump through the window. So we had to wait till she passed away, and we got Maisie. Maisie is a rescue from a kill shelter in Alabama that was brought up here. And we were at a family fun day in our hometown of Elk Grove, walking around, and they had some pets that were up for adoption. And then we were looking around at all the different animals, and this one was just standing still, staring at people, not barking, not jumping, and I'm like, I could get behind that dog. So we've had her now for, let's see, she was 3, so like 8 years. We have another dog that we did not bring because other dogs make him nervous. We refer to her as the smart one, and he's the stupid one. But she's very friendly, she loves everybody. First dog I've ever had, and she was probably the perfect dog to start with. My parents, we got her 2 weeks before we were supposed to go on a vacation with her, And I told them, you know what, we just got this dog. We really don't want to give her back to the person we got her from because they were going to take care of her while we were gone. Like, so we're going to bring her with us. And my mom's like, okay. Didn't tell my dad because she knew he'd complain about it. But by the end of the week, she had won him over. And so now anytime we go down there and we don't bring her with us, he's upset. So I also have a cat who we did not bring, and you're welcome.
Thank you. All right, who's next? Try to stay, when you're talking, try to stay close to the mic so that everyone at home listening online can hear you.
Well, good morning and hello. My name is Lenny. I'm relatively new to the congregation. I thank you for having me. And I've always been an animal lover. I got a whole zoo worth of pets at my house. I have a cat. I have lots of fish, lots of reptiles, whatnot. But what I brought today is actually pretty much the cutest, the most portable of my pets. So I'm going to bust them out for you now.
I was worried it was a tarantula.
No. No, it's not a tarantula today. This is my little buddy. His name is Moisha. He is a domestic, friendly, not rabid little pet rat guy. And the lady right before me said she had rats in college. I had rats just like this in high school, and they really are a phenomenal pet. They are very clean. They do not smell. And they're like little dogs. I mean, this guy, we watch TV together. I let him run around. He comes when called. And if he has to go, he goes back to his tank, and that's super nice too, always a plus. But no, they're great. Like, as you can see, he's just so sweet, so friendly. I would love to find another one, keep him company, but it just hasn't happened yet. Because actually, even this guy, it's like a lot more pet stores used to sell pet rats back in the day. Nowadays, you pretty much have to go through the whole gigantic feeder rat tank and look for a healthy one, then have the pet shop quarantine him for a little bit, make sure he's healthy before you bring him home. Because I actually had that happen. I got him a companion, and I was quarantining him, and the little guy passed away in a short interim. It's a rough situation like that when you're just a huge tank of breeder rats, and like they're not really getting any love. I mean, they're getting fed and watered, but that's about it. So that's about all I got in this guy, and I thank you so much for letting me come up here and do my deal, and I'm going to put him up now, and I thank you again. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah. I noticed.
That's Murphy. He's been with us about 8 years. He's 9 years old. And that's Lucy. And they're both stories of resilience and courage. He came with me, he came along from the East Coast somehow. We got him from a cattle dog rescue in southern Illinois. He came scared of everything, including fire hydrants. The first fire hydrant he saw took me probably 2 minutes to get him to step-by-step walk up to it. I'm glad to say he's not scared of it anymore. Anyway, this event would have been horrifying for him. It would have taken me about 2 or 3 years before I'd take him here, I think, and he would have enjoyed it like he is today. So now he's a pretty well-adjusted dog I can trust with most people. I can trust, period, except for the mailman, mail carrier. So he's a good boy, and for him to have the courage to make it that far, and for the family to learn about having the patience and the love to work with him has just been a treat. And this is Lucy. She's 2 years old. We got her at 3 months. No, we got her at 6 months. At 3 months, she was at a foster, and she looked like a little pig. She had scabies, and she didn't have any hair. It was just horrifying to look at those pictures. But nothing would keep this girl's spirits down. Apparently, she ran like crazy with the other 8 dogs or so at the foster family. We got her at 6 months, and she already had mostly a full thing of hair, and she's been a knucklehead the whole time. Not scared of anything, and just having fun. And they're good, both good, smart dogs. I really enjoy agility. And and this girl, just this week, we've had a lot of dogs. Just this week, she put us past 50% on the dogs getting skunked. So that was a treat. Anyway, thanks.
Do we have anybody else? Oh, here we go.
Hello, I'm Dan. This is Lisa. When my daughter Sam was 9, she had been campaigning for a dog, and I was pre-sold. I love dogs, but my wife was thinking, "Oh, I'm going to have to care for it, and some of it's going to come on me," which was correct, of course. But nevertheless, Sam didn't give up, and so she finally decided to do a PowerPoint production of why we should have a dog in the house. It was very skillfully done. And my wife finally broke down. Okay, we'll do it. And but nothing happened for a while. We went and we looked at some of the places, and we informed Sam that we'd have to have a fence. So she put on the calendar, get a fence. Another day, get a fence. And so we got, because the rescue places would demand that we had a fence. And so we got a fence. And then we went to Rover Rescue in Aurora and got Lisa. And my daughter was 9 at the time. She's now 22. So Lisa's been with us for 13 years. And we have no idea how old she was when we got her. Estimates were from 1 to 5. I suspect that 5 was definitely too high. But it's been a joy. She's been a joy the whole time. And she's already made friends with a few people around me as well.
Thank you. Anybody else? Oh.
I'm a little shorter than most of them. Thank you. Thank you. So our pet family includes Spike, the cat. She is, she started out being very skittish, but now she's super friendly. And Yo-Yo, her sibling. Okay, can everybody see? This is Yo-Yo. Thank you. And this one is Spike. So they're brother and sister. And then later we got Hunter. I always wanted a dog, but we started out with cats because we thought they'd be easier. I'm not sure if that's true or not. And during COVID, we got Scout. He's a Border Collie Lab mix. And Scout and Hunter are part of a larger pack that includes my sister's labs, Cubby and Lovey. And we brought that picture today because Cubby had to have a surgery. He had a fatty mass under one of his muscles in his chest. So we wanted extra blessings for Cubby. And I would say that some of the greatest gifts that our animals have brought to us is to encourage me to be more present and aware of myself and our surroundings. And I would also say of enjoying nature, especially with the dogs. I've been outside a lot more since we got Hunter, and I've noticed a lot more of what's going on around me outside.
So we're very grateful for our pets, and they've been a huge blessing for us. And we're glad to be here and share them with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Good? David? Okay.
Home, they're not here with us today. We have two go cats. They are nice and friendly, but they're not here. They are at home. So they are scared of the doggies. So.
All right. Thanks, David. Okay. Are we done? Anybody else? Huh? I think we're good, except that I need to get my iPad so I can read my words. I'll try not to dilly-dally. Seriously, thank all of you so much for bringing your animals in today. They're all amazing. Animals are very, very important to me, always have been. Obviously, it's the same for all of you. I've spent a lot of time wondering why that is. For the last 23 years or so that I've worked at home as a full-time freelance illustrator, I've had a cat or multiple cats at home with me, keeping me company. So while there weren't other humans around for most of each workday, I was never alone. My cats have always been my constant companions. I have spent more time with my cats than I have with any other beings in my life. Drawing for a living affords me a lot of time to ponder the ins and outs of the universe. When I sit at my desk and draw, it only uses a certain part of my brain, leaving other parts free to either listen to podcasts, music, talk to friends on the phone, or ponder. Sometimes that's a great thing, other times not so much. But I think for me, it has served as a poor man's form of meditation for many years. With all this in mind, I thought I'd share a few thoughts I've had over the years about our animal companions. Ownership. I like that we call today's service the animal dedication service rather than the pet dedication service, because I'm not very comfortable with the term pet. I believe most of us use the term with honest innocence, but for me it brings with it possessive words like my pet or our pet. And I've never liked the arrogant presumptions that often accompany possessive terminology. The cat I had before the two we have now was mainly chosen by my mother and sister. I became very closely bonded to my cat Nuisance. He earned that name, believe me. He lived his last 7 years with me, and his passing was one of the most difficult things I've ever experienced. He died in my arms, and I struggled for years with the decision to end his suffering. Had I made the right decision? Who was I to make such a decision for another living being? And should anyone ever have that kind of power to decide whether or not another living creature should live or die? It took me a long time to process my guilt and my grief and remember why I had made the decision that I did. When Nuisance passed at 16 and a half years of age, I was an adult, married and working at home, which was suddenly empty other than myself. After a week, the silence was too much for me to bear, so I begged my wife to allow us to get another cat, preferably two, so that when we went on vacations, the one would have a companion. Was it too soon? Probably, but against her better judgment, Elaine agreed to release me from my prison of daily loneliness. We wanted to adopt 2 kittens from a rescue group, so we did our research and proceeded with our plan. We went to the foster person's house on a Sunday morning and hadn't even been in the room with the kittens for 30 seconds before a tiny little long-haired fellow had jumped down from his perch and started playing with my shoelaces. Less than 30 seconds after that, a second little furball, this one a short-haired little princess, had come down to join the first one And just like that, the cats had chosen us. Not the other way around like most people describe it. The cats had chosen us. I looked at Elena, then back down at these two little tiny fur balls and said to the foster lady, well, I guess that's that. My wife named them Bubble and Squeak after the English dish, and they have been sharing their lives with us for over 16 years now. When these beautiful little creatures picked my wife and I just couldn't bring myself to speak of them possessively anymore. They are not mine to do with as I please. It is my responsibility, rather, to make sure I was a worthy choice for them. Have I taken care of them well enough? Have I played with them enough, loved them enough, given them the best quality of life that I could? I find myself asking them, I actually ask them, with greater frequency now that they are in their senior years, if I've lived up to their expectations. They are as old as Nuisance was when he passed away, so I fear losing them, and I try to treasure every moment I still have with them, regardless of their behavior. Squeak knocking all the items on my night table to the floor at 5 a.m. Instead of driving me nuts, I'm finding it just makes me love her all the more, because it's her being her to the full extent of her personality. And I'm happy that I've made her feel comfortable enough that she can express herself without fear of retribution. I laugh, I pet her, I call her a scooch, and then I put her on the floor. If Bubba wants to take an hour to eat each meal 3 times a day, then I'll just spend half of my day working in the kitchen, happy that he still has the energy and willingness to eat and keep living. A younger me would have let these things drive me bananas, but I now try to see things through the eyes of gratitude. I'm finding this to be a wonderful way of living, and I'm trying to apply it to every relationship in my life. Don't sweat the small stuff, right? And it's all small stuff. Simple, but so profound. Living in the moment. As I've mentioned, Bubble and Squeak have been a part of my life for a little over 16 years. But I've been with my wife for a little over 24. I can't talk to my cats the way I can my wife. They can't understand me the way she can or sympathize with my plights. But they also can't misunderstand something I'm trying to say. They won't try to fix my problems when I simply want someone to listen, or take a comment personally that I didn't intend to be taken that way. And I think therein lies the greatest gift our animal companions have to offer us. As long as you're not an abusive cretin, your pets will love and accept you for who you truly are. Their only real expectations of you are that you feed them and love them with consistency. In return, they will love you unconditionally and accept you no matter how bad your day was, no matter how short of your goals you fell today, no matter how terrible you're feeling about yourself at the moment. They simply don't care about any of those things. They accept you as you are. Like most other life forms on earth, our pets live in the moment, in the here and now. They don't worry about tomorrow or belabor yesterday. If I'm not mistaken, it's pretty much exactly what Adam and Eve were described as living like before they ate from the tree of knowledge and were cast out of the Garden of Eden, before they were made to feel shame and become self-aware. Our greatest spiritual gurus of today spend lifetimes trying to figure out how to be free of their sense of self-awareness so that they can be more present in their lives. To gain true enlightenment, according to Buddhism, one must shed all sense of self. Only by having nothing is one free to have everything. In that sense, I think we're all trying to be more like the animals we share our lives with, more like the animals we share this world with, really. Not only do they always live a Zen-like existence, but they live in balance with Mother Nature as well. Simple, humble, and again, profound. Communication. Our human-to-human existence is so dependent on verbal and or written communication. We rely on language for the vast majority of our communications, or at least we think we do. I think social media has been showing us just how untrue that actually is. Words without facial cues and body language are so open to interpretation, especially from people we don't know as well as our closest friends and family, that we get the intent of them wrong at least as often as we get them right. Living with my cats all day, every day, I am consistently amazed at how well we communicate without language. We do all our communication without it. I know a lot of us talk to our pets all the time. I know I do. But despite what it might look like sometimes, they don't understand a word of it. They understand the intent, tone, and body language that accompany the sounds we make, but not the words themselves. And the nonverbal information that accompanies our words is truly amazing. Where our eyeballs go, what we do with our hands and feet, how we hold our shoulders. Are we flush or pale? Do we cross our arms or move them about frenetically? The list goes on and on. It's something psychologists have long understood, but few others ever think much about, which is, in my humble opinion, why social media is a place most humans just aren't ready for. I'm aware of this, and yet I still blunder all the time, even with emails. I know Tom and several others of the congregation could definitely attest to that. When Bubble hops up on my lap and starts purring like a madman, or Squeak hops up on the bed at night and comes to snuggle in my arms and sleep with me, it makes me feel incredibly special. Not only do I feel trusted and loved, but I feel that they each know just how much I love them as well. And none of that was built with language. That's amazing to me and so, so beautiful. Actions truly do speak louder than words. I cannot profess my love for them in human language like I do my wife or daughter, and yet they both know exactly how much I love them. This is another area where I've been thinking more consciously about what kind of nonverbal messages I send the humans I love most. It's an area where I know I could do better. Do I stop what I'm doing when they talk to me? Do I give them my undivided attention? Do I show them the actual joy I feel when they arrive home safe and sound each day? We spend so much of our lives learning to protect our inner selves that we can sometimes mask many of our true feelings. I don't think we do that with our animal companions, and I think we would be better off if we were able to be our true selves with our most intimate human companions as well. Unexpected influences. As progressively minded as I thought I was, it wasn't until I met my wife that I realized just how deeply growing up in the heart of the South had affected me. It took her questioning my opinion on things and forcing me to really listen to what I was saying to get me to start rethinking some important ideas. But she didn't catch everything. Our cat Bubble was somewhere between 6 months and a year when he began to display digestive issues. He had to go on a special diet in order to keep any food down. Irritable bowel syndrome, that's what they call it. It's kind of a general term that basically means we're not really sure what's going on down there in the digestive tract, and trust me, you don't want to pay for the surgical cost for us to find out, so we'll just go with a restricted diet and these medications because it seemed to work well for thousands of other cats before yours. Bubble has spent 15 of his 16 plus years on daily medications and a special diet just to stay alive. One of those Southern opinions I used to hold was a survival of the fittest attitude. I was quite fit as a younger man, so I had the luxury to hold such an attitude. I had a difficult time understanding why we spent so much money and time keeping the weak around. It weakened us as a society, I thought. Then Bubble, my little long-haired, passive runt of the litter boy who never would have survived in the wild, came into my life. Most likely, he would have been shoved away from his mother's teats by the other kittens in the litter and would have starved before he was old enough to even open his eyes. That's how passive he is. but he is extremely handsome, very, very lovable, and trusts me like no other cat I've shared my life with. He's almost like a dog with his unquestioning loyalty to me. He makes me laugh and, like all animals, has a very distinct personality. I love him as much as any other cat I've shared my life with. And with that simple truth and revelation, I came to realize just how wrong I had been all those years. We are not weaker as a society because we care for those in need. It's quite the opposite. We are stronger for it, better. We care for those in need because we can and because it's the right thing to do. Bubble has enriched my life, made it better, and in the process, he's made me a better human being. He has no idea, but he'll always have a special place in my heart because he taught me one of the most important lessons I've ever learned about compassion. A cat, and not even a very bright one, bless his heart. Just one that was willing to choose me to share his life with. It's been my honor to take the absolute best possible care of him that I can these past 16 plus years, and will continue to be for as long as he's with me. It's the least we can do for those who choose to trust and love us. Bless our animal companions and the myriad ways that they enrich our lives.
The offering is a sacrament of the Free Church. It is supported by the voluntary generosity of all who come to us. The offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation of our shared hopes and values. And if we find any treats or biscuits in the plate, we'll know where they came from.
Well, I want to thank everybody that brought either your pets or props or photos and sharing the stories. They've really enriched the service and made it, I think, special for everybody. So thank you all very much for that. And then I want to thank Maury and Mike for the work that they did putting things together. Very, 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 very moving. So as we close this sacred gathering, let us carry forth the profound sense of connection and gratitude we've shared here today. We honor the animals who bless our lives, teaching us about unconditional love, unwavering loyalty, and the joys of simple moments. May we always remember that every creature, whether they roam the vast savannas, swim the deep oceans, soar through the skies, or walk beside us in our daily lives, is an integral part of the intricate web of existence. In their eyes, in their purrs, barks, chirps, or silences, we find reflections of the same universal spirit that binds us all. Go forth with hearts of gratitude. May the blessings of today's ceremony guide us in cherishing and respecting all of life's beings. Let us continue to be inspired by their lessons, to find joy in their presence, and to be stewards of the love they so freely give. In this spirit, may peace be with you, with me, and with all the creatures of the earth. Blessed be. And now, join us in our closing hymn, number 175.
Thank you. Go ahead and have a seat. As we extinguish the light of our chalice, let us not extinguish the warmth and wisdom bestowed upon us by our animal companions. May the lessons they teach and the love they share continue to illuminate our hearts and guide our paths. With gratitude for the blessings they bring, we carry their spirit with us into the world, knowing that we are all connected in the intricate web of life. Blessed be.